Alright, we are live. Alright, we are live. One sec, guys. Alright. What's going on, guys? Tekken Wrestler back here again. Another live stream. How are we doing today? Or tonight, specifically. So, today, I want to make my first Tekken 8 tier list. I know we're going to be getting a balance patch soon for this game. So I thought, well, right before it comes out, why don't we do maybe a quick little tier list? You know, basically give kind of my thoughts on these characters, and maybe, you know, you guys in the chat, whoever comes in here, maybe we can have a little discussion about maybe the strength levels of each character. Tekken 8 is a hyper aggressive game. It is very different from Tekken 7, that's for sure. There's a lot more bullshit, a lot more aggression. Defensive play has definitely been nerfed in this game, and this helps some characters and hurts, really hurts other characters. So I kind of just want to kind of talk about with you guys and maybe get everyone's thoughts. I got rid of the D tier because I don't think anyone in Tekken 8 is D tier. I think 4 rows is honestly enough. I don't think we need a D tier. But maybe if we do, then maybe I'll add one later. But right now, I don't really think we do. So, yeah, I guess we can go ahead and kind of get started. By the way, before I do this, I do want to also say that I don't have super knowledge on every single character in the game. There's a lot of characters that I'm not really sure about. It's still extremely early. But I kind of just want to give me my first thoughts on each character, kind of like what I did with Tekken 7. So, yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get started. So first up, we got Jack. Jack to me is probably I think he's like a low A tier or maybe a high B character. He's kind of like in the middle here. He's kind of similar to Tekken 7 where he's very fundamental. He's pretty honest. He got a new stance which gives him some more pressure mix-ups. His throw game is still very good. His wall game is good. Whiff punishment is good. His damage used to be absolutely busted during the beta, but it did get nerfed. What's up, Iodine? His Heat Smash is one of the best in the game. It's a 10 frame. It starts with his forward 2. It's safe on block. It does a shitload of damage. It's a very good Heat Smash. Very, very good. He's very good in Heat. His chip damage is good. The big thing with Jack to me is that, again, he's just a little too honest, and I feel like some of his stance mix-ups are kind of fake. The pressure's kind of fake. If you know how to deal with it, then, I think he'll be fine. But Jack's still a pretty solid character to me. PokeLive, what's up? How you doing today? I say B, seeing how honest he doesn't have anything too crazy compared to the cast. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I think you could maybe convince me if you wanted to put him in low A tier, but I think I'll put him in B for now. Maybe I'll change my mind later. Let's see here. Jin. I think Jin is definitely at least A tier. Maybe even S tier. Jin is very strong. Very strong with Tekken 8. I used to think, when the game released, especially during the vanilla, I thought he was easily one of the best characters. I don't think that now. I still think he can be a little honest, but Jin has really everything you need and then some. Name one thing that Jin can't do, especially in Tekken 8. Like, he's complete. His forward 4 is back to easy counter hit combo afterwards. It's even easier in this game because you can do back 3 afterwards. That's really good. His lows are complete. Down 2 is ridiculously strong. Down back 4 is good. Even though that low was nerfed, it doesn't knock down anymore. Hell Sweep's good. Doesn't launch anymore, but still, that's still good. It still breaks the floor. Down 4 is always good. 2-1, 2-1-4 is insane in this game. The last hit on counter hit gives a knockdown, gives you a guaranteed down 2. That's really, really good. Demon Paul is ridiculously dumb in this game. It tracks for some reason, which is super annoying. His down 4-1 and his jabs in general, this used to be a weakness for Jin in Tekken 7. The range on his jabs and down 4-1 was pretty poor. Not in this game. They fixed that for some reason. Back to 1 is insane. He's got great combos. He's a complete throw game. Not to mention in Tekken 8, he's much easier. Yeah, he is. Yes, Jin is significantly easier. You don't have to do an electric anymore to get the combo. The normal electric launches. And when you're in heat, I think it automatically does the electric. I think. But that maybe it's only Kazuya. The Zen stance is very good. They did nerf Zen stance in the fact that you can't cancel it into a block anymore. That was removed, but you know, that's notable. But I mean, yeah, Jin just has everything. Really everything you need. But still, compared to the other like obnoxious characters in this game, he's actually pretty honest in comparison to the S tier characters. But Jin is still super powerful. Super powerful. Let's see here. Jun. F tier. Jun is insane. Insanely strong. Super brain dead, very easy. Ridiculous freaking damage. Her heat is some of the best in the game. She has safe launchers. Sidestep 4 is an insane tool. Forward 4 is a great homing move that's really plus on block. Down 4-1 is good. Great Oki. Beast at the wall. Good chip damage. Heat Smash is broken. It is like legit broken. It is a 13 frame projectile that wall splats, shitload of damage, chips on block, and any recoverable health that she has, she automatically gets it back. Has a can, has good stance mix-ups. It can be a little fake depending on who you're fighting, but against most players, it's really annoying and stupid. Yeah, Jun's insane. Insane. Oh yeah, and her 10 frame punish is arguably the best in the game, up forward 1. She does take health for it, but it's still super dumb. And she also has something similar to in full crouch. She has an I-10 in full crouch that does a shitload of damage, wall splats, and everything. She's busted. Yeah. Very, very annoying. And very easy. Very easy to play. And she also has Asuka's back 3. And has a parry. Really, really good. And if I'm missing something, chat, you can go ahead and please let me know if I'm missing anything. Like I said, I don't have knowledge on every single character, but you know, that's why it's a discussion, you know. But yeah, Jun, I just can't really find any weakness for her. I just can't. Ridiculous. Kazuya. I think Kazuya is probably B tier. So the thing with, in my opinion, Kazuya, I don't feel like works very well in Tekken 8. He's, like I mentioned earlier, this game is super aggressive. Super aggressive. Kazuya, very defensive character. He's been known for this forever. Great punishment, you know, great defensive tools. Electric is very strong. I feel an A for him. I have to disagree. I don't think Kazuya is A tier. I think he's good. Every character in this game is good to a certain extent. There's no character that's bad. But in my opinion, he just doesn't have the offense to really match some of the best characters. He just doesn't have the poking. He doesn't really have the frames. He's still very, you know, he's still vulnerable to sidestep left, but they kind of you know, they buffed it a little bit in the fact that he got a Demon Paw 442, which is it tracks really well to his weak side. That's actually kind of a big deal for him. Fujin Arakan is good. Wild Slang 3 is meh, it's not that great. Wild Slang 2 is there, but it is launch punishable, so you gotta be careful with that. You know, these things gotta keep in mind. Electric is very good though. He still has very good Oki. His Oki is some of the best in the game. It is very strong. I'll give him that. You need to have very strong fundamentals to do well with Kazuya, yeah? Yeah, of course. And seeing how Kazuya got a lot of nerfs compared to 7 isn't helping either. Yeah, he got some nerfs. For some reason. A big nerf for Kazuya is down back 2. It doesn't knock down anymore. Which is... that's a big deal. And down 4-1-2 is gone. It's now basically the Tekken 6 Tag 2 version, which is a heat engager. So he doesn't have like an easy 15 frame punish that hurts a lot, except when he's in heat, because you can heat dash out of that. But when he's not in heat, you kind of have to electric if you want really high damage. That's another big problem with him. I can't agree with that, really. That's cool. That's okay. That's okay, Hank. I completely respect that. But yeah, in my opinion, you know, I think he's B tier. I mean, if you want to put him in A tier, again, you can. I'm perfectly okay with that. But in my opinion, I just don't think he's quite A tier. I don't think he's as strong as Jin. Like, Jin's just way more all around. Kazuya just isn't. And yeah, his mids, you know, the poking just lacking. Wild Slang 4 is the best poke probably you have. 4-4 is good. I will say his down 1+2 low, though, it is very strong. That's a very good low. 23 frames, chunky damage, counter hit launcher, -14. That is a very good low. That's really good. Down back 4 is still good. Like, he's got tools. Again, he's solid, but just compared to the top characters, I don't know. I just don't think he's quite as strong as them. But if you have amazing, you know, execution and fundamentals, you know, he's a good pick, but there's just better options. King is an easy S for me. King is an S tier for me, 100%. His throws are the best in the game. And the big thing is that throws got buffed crazy in this game. 1, they're homing. B, if you counter hit someone with a throw, it's basically unbreakable on reaction. King, best throws in the game. And his giant swing, 10 frames, homing, and if you counter hit someone with it, you basically can't break it. Unless you, like, expect he's gonna do it, like, before he even does it. It's insane. He's got great tracking moves. And in my opinion, I think King is one of the best counter hit characters in the game. Let me tell you all about this. Remember down 4-2-1? Down 4-2-1 is arguably one of the best counter hits in the game. I think it's even better than Steve back 1 right now. Because it's mid, 13 frames, super easy to counter confirm, leads to solid damage. Steve gets no damage from his back 1 in this game. No damage. King's heat is ridiculous. His heat smash is one of the best in the game. It's insanely fast, insanely high, good range, insane damage. Let's see here. I can't argue with that. Not agree. You're right about him being defensive, being quick to punish enough. I mean, I'm not saying it's Kazuya's punishment. Kazuya's punishment is some of the best in the game if you have the execution. It's just pretty much what I said earlier. Strong throws, busted heat smash, big damage. Yeah, his damage is insane. His punishment is really good. With punishment, he's very good there. 4-2-1, very good. 4-4-1 is still good. His Oki is very good. King has everything, man. He has everything. And also, his Jaguar Sprint, for some reason, they made it so that you can block. You don't have to commit to an attack. You can just block and not do anything. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. I feel like you should commit to a certain attack. But no, not anymore. You can just block. That doesn't make sense to me. His hyper armor is stupid. It's very strong, very powerful. 4-4 neutral 2 is a really annoying low. Really annoying. Down 3 is a good low. You don't even really need his lows because of the throws. But, you know, if you're fighting someone that has really strong throw breaks, you know, he has those lows. And down back 3 is no longer launch punishable on block. That's a big deal. But it doesn't launch on counter it anymore. Hop kick is really good. His shove is broken in my opinion. That shove is so annoying. 0 on block, super quick, counter hit 4-2-1, and if you're in heat, it becomes a launcher because 4-2-1 dash. Yeah, Kane is so strong, super strong. And then Tekken 8. Yeah, the throws alone, in my opinion, I think put him in S tier. Lars. I think Lars is probably an A tier, in my opinion. I don't think Lars is quite S tier, but Lars is pretty freaking brain dead in this game. All of his mix-ups got buffed. Buffed frames. They buffed the tracking on Lars. A big problem with Lars in Tekken 7 was he was so vulnerable to sidestep right. He got huge buffs to this department in Tekken 8. Lows are still not the greatest, but they still buff those as well because his silent entry or whatever, it has some good low options from there that aren't launch punishable. That was a big problem with Lars, is that most of his lows were very high committal, very risky. His damage and combos are insane. His wall combo is always insane. His block punishment. This guy's block punishment, no one talks about it, but his block punishment is one of the best in the game, in my opinion. He has a 14-frame standing launcher. People forget that he has that. That's a big deal. 4-2-4 is really good. He has the arc blast. While standing's pretty solid as well. His silent entry 3 is, in my opinion, broken. That move literally reaches from the other side of the earth. It's a heat engager, plus 5 on block. You have to take the mix-up on block. Previously, there was a little bit of counterplay to it, but they completely removed it. It's a heat engager. Mid. There's literally no weakness to that move. 4 for 1 plus 2 is a good Demon Paul style move. Let's see here. Oh yeah, his Demon Flip. His Demon Flip is insanely stupid in this game. It evades so much shit. Previously, in other games, he would just jump a little bit, where you could hit him relatively easily. Now, he jumps so freaking high in the sky, and you almost can't hit him. He's almost invincible. And he has a safe mid from that, and he has a throw, which is homing. You can obviously break it, obviously. You can break it, but it's homing. Which is really stupid. Let's see. Am I missing anything else with Lars? His heat's pretty good, too. He's got good mix-ups in heat. And yeah, they buffed a lot of the character. I think maybe it's because in Tekken 7, he was just always really bad. So maybe they wanted to buff him a little bit here. But yeah, Lars is solid in my opinion. Very solid. But yeah, the lows are still, they can still be a little bit risky. He still has some problems, not the greatest poking, but I still think he's solid. Law. Law, man. I think Lars is S tier. I mean, not Lars, Law, sorry. Law is ridiculous. Ridiculous. He's very similar to Tekken 7 Law. The only one big nerf he did get in this game is 14-frame launcher being pretty much removed. 3+4. That's gone. Other than that, everything else is pretty much flawless. Great pokes, great pressure, great damage, great block punishment, good defensive tools, good panic moves, good blows. DSS got buffed to shit. And a big thing with Law in this game is that DSS, anyone can do it. They made it so easy. All you have to do in this game is tap forward. That's it. And from Tekken 4 to Tekken 7, it was back, forward, forward. And it took some skill to do that. Not anymore. Now anyone can do his DSS bullshit. In heat, his heat smash is really strong. He's got a safe launcher that hits on the ground. It is super fast, the nunchuck. His slide is so annoying in this game. Holy hell. When he's in DSS, you can press down forward 3 and you'll get his slide. He'll do his little slide mix-up. So when you're doing his bullshit pressure and frames and shit like that, he can at any time do that slide mix-up on you. It is so stupid and annoying. And when he hits that slide, he gets the guaranteed 1+2 dump shot for a backflip and great damage and great OP afterwards. He's got solid counter hits as well. You know, not as good as previous games because the Magic 4 did get nerfed, but still good. 4 1+2 is a great pressure mid. Back 4 is a great homing move. Got some good sidestep 1 or sidestep 2 that, you know, is neutron block knockdown mid. That's a good move. Sidestep 3 is a good addition to him. Great Oki with that full crouch mix up. His throws are pretty good. I mean, again, name something that Law can't do in Tekken 8. I don't see the weakness for Law. The reason why I put Law in A in previous games is that he was really hard to play because of the DSS. It was very hard to master. In this game, it's completely gone. Completely gone. So it's like, anyone can do it. So that's kind of why now I think now he's S tier. Sure, he doesn't have the 14 frame launch anymore, but did he even need that in Tekken 7? Even if he didn't have that in Tekken 7, he'd still be very strong. But yeah, Law is nutty. Paul, I think Paul is a solid B tier in my opinion. He's he's like the mid tier of Tekken 8. He's pretty similar to how he was in Tekken 7. He's not that much different. He got a couple of changes, but nothing too crazy. He's pretty honest. He was pretty honest in Tekken 7 as well. He's got good block punishment, good counter tools. Down 4-2 is still insane. His damage is still very good. But poking is not good. Very lacking in the poking. And just coming in, I feel like Paul is very predictable. And also can be very linear. But his throws, he's got a complete throw game. That's always a plus. And when he's in heat, he has a very scary mix-up with that upgraded Death Fist and the Devilman Heat Smash. In my opinion, that Devilman Heat Smash is one of the better Heat Smashes in the game. Super good range, good damage, only -12 on block. It's a good Heat Smash. But yeah, in my opinion, Paul, other than the Heat, which is very strong, he still remains Paul. And still has the same weaknesses as he did in Tekken 7. But again, he's solid. He's a very solid character. But for Tekken 8, you know, these guys are just better. If that makes any sense to you, at all. Nina. Nina also got huge buffs in this game. Nina's nutty. I didn't know much about Nina because I didn't see her that like I saw her a little bit, but not the like really good Nina players. And I haven't played her really yet myself, but I've heard that she got huge buffs. And that she's very strong. She has good poking, good frames, insane freaking damage. Her damage is really freaking high. Really high damage. Counter hits, they gave those back to her because in I think the beta, they got rid of a lot of her counter hits. But down back 2 was removed, back 4 was removed, but they gave those back to her. That's really good. Down 4-1 is really good. Her sidestep 1 mix-ups are really annoying. Her throws are also very good, especially with how Tekken 8 is. Really good. Her forward 4, that's her new move, that flip kick. That move's insane. That move is super annoying. When that move was on release, that move, if you sidestepped into it at certain ranges, you can get a guaranteed sidestep 2, which was a launcher. That was really just insane. But that got removed. But even with that getting nerfed, that move is still insane. It leads to insane frames, super long range. It can lead into her sidestep 1 loops that are plus 1,000,000. Yeah, Nina just works, in my opinion. Nina really fits the Tekken 8 meta. She fits it very well. Super high aggressive, good chip damage. Her heat is pretty decent. Her guns do so much chip, it's insane. Has good throws. Yeah, Nina's very strong. Very strong. And she has a way kind of getting in with that forward 4. So, yeah, Nina's very good. But I don't have the most knowledge on her, but I know she's very strong. Along with the next character, Ling Xiaoyu. And by the way, guys, this isn't in any particular order. This is just me going through the characters. Let's see here. Xiaoyu. Dude, this character, bro. I don't know how y'all feel about her, but this character is insane. Xiaoyu. Easy S in my opinion. She's another character that just does everything. And then some. Her Art of Phoenix is so insane in this game. Like, she literally beats almost everything. They definitely buffed the crushing on it. I don't know why they did. It was already good in Tekken 7. Almost everything whiffs on this girl. Even some lows miss, which is ridiculous because she sidesteps a little bit while she does it. And if she ducks down, she even beats certain mids that like hit semi-grounded. It just makes no sense. Her damage got buffed. Did she need good damage? No, I don't think she did. But here we are. That was actually a main weakness for her in Tekken 7 was her damage. That got, let's fix that. Of course, let's fix it. Good poking. Her mix-ups are annoying as shit. But the big thing that really irritates me with her is her heat. Her heat smashes are some of the best in the game. They lead into her bullshit hypnotist mix-up. That hypnotist stance is, oh my fucking god, it is so annoying. The low sweep, especially if you're in heat, that low sweep, if you do it right away, it'll knock down for a guaranteed follow-up. The 2 option is just a mid safe knockdown wall splat, which you can actually hold forward and it becomes the heat dash launcher. +5 on block, really good. But if you wait a little bit, that low sweep becomes a unseeable snake edge, and it's only -12 on block. Yeah. And there are a lot of moves that lead to that hypnotist stance for that 50-50 mix-up. 4-2-1, the heat smashes. There's a couple of them moves. I don't know them all, but there's a decent amount of them. Yeah, Xiaoyu's insane. Oh yeah, and they gave her arguably the best throw in the game, or one of them, in Waning Moon. Yeah, Xiaoyu now has Waning Moon. And with how strong throws are in this game, that's a huge deal that she got that. A launching throw. That's homing. Yeah, really, really annoying. And her Oki also. You do her Oki. Her Oki is some of the best in the game. It is like, oh my god. You could maybe even argue it could be better than Kazuya's at times. It's that dumb. But yeah, Xiaoyu got huge buffs. And I have no idea why. No idea why. She was already good in Tekken 7. So yeah, that's Xiaoyu. Fuck this character. Asuka, in my opinion, I think this is the first C tier. I hate this character. She's very annoying to fight, super obnoxious, great panic moves, great defensive tools in general with can, back 3, sidestep 4. Has some good solid defensive options. But again, her offense is just non-existent. Non-existent. And, her 50-50 is not extremely threatening in my opinion. Down 1+2 still just doesn't, it's just crap range in my opinion, super linear. Just doesn't have the pokes. And I don't know, again, just compared to the rest of these characters, I just don't feel like she's just, I don't know, I just don't feel like she's that strong. She's very annoying though, I'm not gonna lie, she's very annoying. If you play her game and if you don't know the matchup, she's gonna fuck you up. I was literally playing with her today. And yeah, I was fucking most people up with her just because no one knows people don't really know the matchup. But the thing is, it's just like, when people know the matchup and they don't they know not to go reckless on her, it's just, what can she really do? She's a defensive character in an offensive game. Yeah, exactly. By the way, True, welcome to the stream. But yeah, that's pretty much how it is. She just, again, just doesn't quite work in this game. But she does have some unique things, like when she's in heat, she has some like power up thing off of certain moves where she has a 4-4-1+2, which I think is a safe or plus on block mid launcher. While running 1+2 it does really good chip, and that's really plus on block. Like she has tools. Her parry is super annoying. Like she's got tools. Again, she's not bad by any means. You can win with her, but compared to the rest of these characters, she just, I don't know, can't compete. Along with our next character, Leroy. You could maybe give an argument that Leroy could be the worst character in the game. You could maybe argue that, maybe with Panda. But yeah, Leroy again. They just nerfed the whole character. The entire character was nerfed, and the new stuff that he got in this game just isn't. It's just not enough to me. Like he's again just very underwhelming. Pretty poor frames. Damage was nerfed. Um, Again, he has tools. His parries. Oh yeah, his parries got hit real bad, especially because of the throw changes. Like throwing Leroy is very good because whenever he does a parry, it becomes unbreakable, and there's nothing Leroy can do. Like if you're playing a King, I don't know how the hell you played Leroy against like a character like King or something with his giant swing. It's insane. Um, he got a few decent new moves. Like back three is pretty good, but it's a bit slow. He has that low pimp cane launcher. I think it's only minus 14 or something. That's good. Like again, he has tools. He has an orbital, which is a safe launcher. Down 4-1 is very underwhelming. Down 3-2 is very annoying. Still annoying, but they nerfed the damage on it. His heat is very underwhelming in my opinion. And I just think the whole character in general is just underwhelming. And like they just keep nerfing his stuff. Even in Tekken 8, they were still nerfing him, and he was already down here. He was not good, and they just kept nerfing him. So I hope in the next balance patch, I'm praying to the Lord that he doesn't get nerfed again. I'm not even saying they have to buff him, but just like nerf these top tiers. And we'll get to more of them in a second. Hi, Dragonov. So yeah, Leroy, underwhelming, just very weak. Very weak in a game like Tekken 8. Let's see here. Lily. I think Lily's an A tier. I think she's pretty solid in this game. She's got some solid tools. To me, I don't feel like she's that much different from Tekken 7. She's still very strong, though. Has good tools. Down forward 3, great mid. Down 3 is a good low. Forward 4, great counter tool. Has pretty solid damage. Good, pretty solid Oki, in my opinion. This is a character I don't know a shitload about, so I don't have like the best knowledge on her, but her movement is, I think, arguably the best in the game. Her movement's insane. Good block punishment. Her block punishment's pretty good, especially with 2-4 and 4-2-3. Those are good tools. She got a decent mix-up from her back 3 or back 4 when she hops. She has a mix-up with that, with the low and the mid. Kind of similar to Shayu's Hypnotist, but it's nowhere near as good, in my opinion. Her heat is, again, a little underwhelming, in my opinion. Her heat smash is, I think, more specifically, the standing one is one of the worst in the game. Just isn't good. But Lily's still pretty solid. Lily's at risk of a nerf after winning Evo Japan. I actually didn't even watch Evo Japan, honestly, because I was busy doing other things. But yeah, Lily's strong. Lily's strong. I personally don't think she needs to be nerfed. I just think the players the players that play her at that level are just super, super good players. Most Lily players I run into are very good players. Most of them. Let's see here. Hordong, I think Hordong's another A tier in my opinion. Super annoying, super good frames, great pressure, absurd freaking damage. Wall travel is some of the best in the game with up 4 3+4. The fact that you can cancel that into multiple of those to go to the wall is stupid. His Oki is dumb. Down 3-4 is a joke and annoying as shit. They nerfed it, I feel like, a little bit. I feel like it's a little easier to punish in this game compared to previous games, but maybe that's just me. Just frame skyrocket's super good, but you do need execution for that. 4-4-4, good mid, long range mid heat engager, but it is steppable. But another really good move that he got in this game was in his right stance, up 4-3 or down 4-3, that jumping homing mid kick that's plus on block. I think y'all know what move I'm talking about. That move is super dumb. I don't know why he needed that. Super long range homing mid that's plus on block, and it's a heat engager. I don't think he needed that, but maybe that's just me. That move's so dumb. It's so dumb. And then when he's in heat smash is a little underwhelming, but he has I think a 10 frame launcher where he goes into like a counter hit launcher. Where I think he does like 2 into the kicks, into the forward 4 kicks or whatever. I don't know all the commands for Hordong, but he has something like that. It's really, really, really strong, but that's in heat. She's strong. She's not S to me, but you're gonna do a good job with her. Yeah, she's not S tier in my opinion. She's not on the level of these characters, but Lily's a little more honest in my opinion. But I feel like she's a more powerful version of honest. Let's see here. But Horong, yeah, he has really good stuff in heat, but the heat smash isn't the best. Yeah, Horong's strong. He's strong. I don't see like really any heavy weaknesses for Horong, but I still don't think he's quite as good as these guys. Let's see here. Claudio, Claudio, a little underwhelming to me right now. I'd say he's probably like a B tier. Again, he's got solid tools. His back one. His sidestep 4 is good. Let's see here. What was that? There's another. Oh yeah, while running 2. He's got a pretty perfect high, mid, and a low, and his hop kick is still good. But in this game, like I thought he was very good because I actually remember putting Claudio in S tier in Tekken 7, like at the end of my Tekken 7 tier list. I don't know if I would agree with that anymore, but he's still very strong in Tekken 7 because of the game. But in Tekken 8, I just feel like he doesn't have. I don't feel like he has enough in Tekken 8. His heat is pretty good though. I'll give him that. He's got a low health sweep, heat smash. His chip damage is really annoying and good. His projectile is decent, but it did get nerfed. You can step it now. He's got a DP launcher, which is pretty good. It's perfectly safe. In heat. His starburst is still good. Like, punishment wise, he's also pretty good there, but just again, compared to all these other characters, I just don't feel like he's just a little underwhelming. And his poking is not very good. Poking is very lacking. I don't know, like, what do you guys think on Claudio? Y'all think he's like B tier? Because I don't know if I'm missing something, but I don't know, he's just a little underwhelming to me. Left here, Azuzana. Azuzana is a pretty easy S in my opinion. They nerfed while running 3-2, but even with that nerf, she's still one. That move is still busted as shit. It's still super fast. It's still super dumb chip damage, +5 on block. And here's the thing, yeah, it's easier to set now, but if you're a good Azuzana player, you're not gonna just throw that move out willy-nilly. You gotta know what, you can realign with your opponent, you can, time it off a little bit, your timing. While running 3-2 is still most of this character, and it is still stupid, dumb, and annoying. You're a Claudio main? Oh shit, perfect. Okay, what do you got for me? He was one of those who didn't get straight up buff from 7. He's received a mixed buff nerf. His down 1-2 has been changed from +8 and is steppable. Oh, really? I did not know that. Well, thank you for telling me. But yeah, I think Claudio is probably a B. But Azuzana, while running 3-2, most of the character, her down for 1-4 is for some reason, for some weird reason, that jails on block. Is that the only down for 1-4 in the game like that jails? Yeah, I know down 1-2. Yeah, I know what move you're talking about. Yeah, that jails for some reason. Perfectly safe. There's literally no risk doing it. Just throw it out whenever you want to. Natural combo. That's absurdly broken, in my opinion. Damage is super high. Good wall carry. Her heat smash is one of the best in the game. It tracks really well to both sides. I had a little brain fart. But honestly, I feel like most heat smashes in this game track like crazy for some reason. Maybe except Dragonov. Outside of like drag, I mean, most other heat smashes just clip you even when sidestepping. It's dumb as shit. Lows wise, she's pretty decent there. Not the greatest, but not bad at all. Definitely workable. Super easy to play. Super easy. You don't need that many moves with Azuzana. She has some parries. She has a really annoying stance that leads to pretty solid complete mix-ups. But you can play this character mainly with while running 3-2, and you're gonna do very well if you have the fundamentals. And also, you have to remember that they made while running moves super easy in this game. That really helps a character like Azuzana, or even a Claudio, King with Shining Wizard, Dragonov while running 2. No, You know, and there's some other characters. Victor as well. Where the frick's Victor? Victor's while rank 2. That helps Azuzana a lot. But yeah, Azuzana is just super fucking annoying, super easy. Yeah, S tier for sure. Raven. This is a character I don't know too much about, so yeah, I have to give you your guys' thoughts on this one. Probably a B tier. He's solid. You know, he's got some poking. His down 4-1 though, I'll say is one of the best in the game. 14 frames, -1 on block. But the big thing with it is that it's homing. It's the only homing down 4-1 in the game. That's really good, and it has a follow up too. But it is -14, I think. I think all the clone extensions are -14, so keep that in mind. Knockback 2 is still good. Keep Out is very good. His damage is still very high. Heat Smash is one of the better ones in the game. It's kind of like a projectile, but not as good. He has a 1-frame parry. It doesn't lead to any guaranteed damage, but again, he's the only character that can disrespect a heat dash. He could just mash parry and he can get out of any situation, depending on what you do. He's the only character that can do that, which is very unique to him. But yeah, Raven he seems solid, but I feel like if you know this matchup, I feel like he could struggle a little bit. And I don't think he's as good as these guys, but Raven's still cool. Glad I haven't come up against Azuzana higher ranked, and I'm happy to keep it that way. Yeah, fuck Azuzana. I've run into a couple. One of them beat my ass, and I was super irritated, but she's just annoying as shit. I'm in the Tekken God ranks, so I see Azuzana a decent amount. Let's see here, Dragonov. Dragonov, easy S tier. Easy S tier. Dragonov is one of my main characters in this game, and he's one of my favorites. I mean, I've been playing this character since Tekken 6. I've always loved him, but I can't deny the fact that he's a joke. He's completely broken right now. During the bait or during when this game first released, this guy was, oh my god, he was literally absolutely completely batshit broken crazy. Why was that? Well, his crouch dash 4 was +7 on block, and it still is, but it left you right next to Dragonov. So he left you in crouch. So you could do either while standing 1 mix up and you can just loop it over and over again, or you could do his new low full crouch down for 1-4 into it. It was so annoying, holy shit. And there was very little you could do about it. You just had to take it. That move was nerfed, and now pushes back to where you can't do that anymore, but that move is still insanely stupid. Another big thing is that his up forward 4 was essentially an orbital. It gave it kind of an unnecessary combo with back 4-3, because back 4 for some reason hits grounded in this game, and they made it 14 frames. That's a big deal. So that became an orbital. I think you did back 4-3 or whatever you did into, I don't know the full combo, but that was essentially an orbital. But that got nerfed. Yeah, Dragonov was just ridiculous. And he still is. His pressure is super overwhelming, and Dragonov, he just fits Tekken 8 so well. Again, super aggressive, super good frames. That's all Dragonov is about. And his throws, oh my god. His throws were already super good in Tekken 7, and he was pretty low tier. In this game, some of the best in the game. His throws are literally busted in this game because the fact that they're homing. A big problem with Dragonov previously was you could step him. He was very linear. And he still can be, but his throws are 11, 12 frame homing moves. Why is that a thing? I don't know. And his up 4-1 plus 2 grab, it used to give a guaranteed back 4. And if you stood up, back 4-3 was fully guaranteed, and down 4-2 was fully guaranteed. You can launch them. That was removed, thank God for that. But that's still a really good throw. And then for lows, he had down 2, which would stop sidestepping, whatever. But it wasn't. It was a good low, but it wasn't very threatening. Here comes Tekken 8. You give him down back 3 plus 4 hatchet, which is one of the best hatchets in the game. Again, does everything. Super chunky, good plus frames, +7. Hits on the ground, tracks both ways, counter and knockdown for a follow-up. I mean, it's so dumb. It is launch punishable on block, though, but -15. So some characters can't even launch that low. That low needs to stagger. It's insane. Yeah, while rank 2 is busted, and his freaking damage. His damage, I don't think I even need to get into it. His damage is broken. Absolutely broken. Especially if he gets you to the wall with that wall throw. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Dragonov is just, again, name one thing Dragonov can't do in this game. He can do everything. And more and more and more. Like, dude, fuck this character. Listen, I play Dragonov myself, but fuck this character. Made it to Fusion 3 nights ago, went 41 wins and 4 losses in ruler ranks after taking a month break. I'm not going to attempt to get gold yet. Want to learn here. Hey, good shit. I mean, Fusion is pretty easy to get nowadays, but, hey, congratulations. Dragonov is everywhere in ranked. Oh, yeah. I got Dragonov to Tekken God so easy. It was so freaking easy. Like, oh my god. Usually I kind of get stressed out when I play ranked, but Dragonov, it was just the most chill, most relaxing session I've ever had. It was so much fun. Because Brian is another one of my mains, and holy shit, I can't get this motherfucker to Tekken King. I'm stuck at Bushin right now with him. And Brian, I've played Brian even more than Dragonov. But I'll get to Brian later. But yeah, Dragonov's just completely busted. Let's see here. Kuma. Honestly, with Kuma, I kind of want to put him in B tier just because of his heat bullshit. I kind of want to put him in B tier, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put him in C tier. But yeah, Kuma, I mean, where's Panda? Panda's the worst character in the game, in my opinion. We'll just put them here. But yeah, Kuma, in Heat, he has a Bear Electric, which is super annoying. +5 on block, special mid, can't duck it. It doesn't cost much heat to do it. You can just loop them over and over again. Heat Smash is stupid. Panda doesn't have the electric, and the Heat Smash isn't as good. She has, I think Xiaoyu's up 4 +4 or whatever in Heat, which leads to a mix-up, but it's nowhere near as good as the Bear Electric. Again, I hate these characters. They're super obnoxious, gimmicks. They have some decent tools, 2-1's good. Down back 2 was nerfed, though. It's launch punch from on block. That's a huge deal. But, yeah, while we're in 1+2, forward from 1+2 is really annoying. Again, there's stance mix-ups and gimmicks and all that mess. These characters are just a mess, both of them. It's super hard to hit lows on them as well because their legs are super far back. Their head is super far forward. Their legs are super far back. You can't hit these suckers with lows, especially if they're backdashing. If you're fighting a really strong backdashing Kuma or Panda, it's not, come on, you're not going to hit them with lows. Good luck with that. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, these characters are annoying. No one knows the matchup, but on paper, they're not strong characters. Poor frames, very risky. If you know the matchup, you're going to, it's much harder for them to play. But, I mean, you've got people, there are pro players that play them and do well. More specifically, Kuma. Again, you can win with this guy. You can. But, again, compared to these guys, I mean, they're obviously C2. I was surprised how easily I got to Fusion. I had a slightly harder time in Reds. I landed Claudio's about 14 Gator on 2 opponents in Red. Yeah, of course. Of course, man. But yeah, good shit. I don't see many Claudio players, so that's good to see. Let's see here. Yeah, Leo. Leo, to me, honestly, this is a character that I'm actually not really sure about. I have not played Leo really at all. I don't think he's changed that much from Tekken 7. He's still very strong. Back 1-4 is still, good mix-ups. Down for 2+3 is a good low. Up 4-3, low crushing mid. Safe wall splat. 4-4-2, good Demon Paul. I know he's got a power-up where you can do, back 3, 1, 2 or something in House Sweep. Oh, yeah, has a homing House Sweep. Pretty good block punishment, good damage. Oh, yeah, his wall combo is actually one of the best in the game. And I actually forgot to mention that with Kuma. Both Kuma, Panda, and Leo have some of the best wall combos. For Kuma, you do down forward 1-2, delay 1+2, down 1+2. That's fully guaranteed. It's insanely dumb damage. And Leo has something similar where I think you go into his stance, power crush, into stomp. Guaranteed. Super high damage. So Leo's got a very good wall combo. And pretty good mix-ups and good poking. Again, just a good all-round character in my opinion. Again, I don't know much about Leo, but very good all-round character from what I've seen. Bears are very, very easy to fight against most of the time. Very punishable. I love their hair. They're funny, difficult to find. The matchup is a blast fight. Yeah, of course. That's why. Yeah, that's pretty much why they're in C tier. If you know this matchup, they are very punishable, and you know you're gonna blow most people up if you know the matchup. But they're still super annoying to fight. Their hitboxes are just weird. The wall combos, some combos just don't work on them, and it's weird because they're big as a house, but some combos just miss on them for some reason. It's just the hitbox is so weird. But I mean, if you just, I mean, they're the comic relief characters of Tekken 8. So Shaheen, man, Shaheen, I didn't not know much about him. I didn't see him that much, but after what I saw Triple AA do, I'm kind of maybe inclined to put Shaheen in S tier. But I won't do that yet. I'll just maybe put him like up here at the high, at the top of A tier. Shaheen is a very honest character, very fundamental, but again, kind of like Lily, he's a powerful version of honest. Tekken 7, he just wasn't that strong. He was honest, but it was so bland, not a powerful version of honest at all. In Tekken 8, he received some good buffs, has great mix-ups now. Full crouch slide got buffed. He has a guard break when he's in heat, which is really good. He has some tornado launching move, which I don't know the command for it because I haven't played Shaheen yet. Punishment's really good. Poking's really good. Hop kick is really good. His wall combo is really good. Sidestep 2 is, or whatever that low is, good addition. Up 4-1 is a really good addition to Shaheen. Yeah, Shaheen's very strong, I think. I think he's very strong. I think we're going to see a lot more Shaheen moving forward in Tekken 8's lifespan. No one's really playing him right now, maybe besides AAA, but yeah, Shaheen is really, really, this is a character to me where if you want to put him at the end of S tier, I would be okay with that. I'd be sure, go ahead. I think Shaheen's a hidden S. I still find him bland and would happily toss him in trash. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's still kind of a bland character, but strength level wise, I mean, maybe you could argue S tier, but for now, I'm just gonna put him in A tier. But I could see him moving to S in the future, as long as they don't nerf him. Let's see here, Steve. Ugh, man, Steve, where the fuck do I put your ass? I'm putting Steve in C tier. Steve is not good in this game, man. They nerfed almost everything about him. His block punishment is a meme. It is so bad. You literally cannot launch people from standing. And while standing, I think it's like 18 frames, or maybe 17, but I'm not sure. Back 2, no longer a launcher, really hits this guy. His counter tools are, good, but it's like back 1, though he still has it, it got nerfed recovery-wise. It doesn't recover nearly as quick, but it's still good. But the big problem with Steve, especially with that back 1, is that he does no damage with it. Absolutely no damage. They completely hit the damage on Steve in general. He does no damage. His punishment sucks. Lows are just a joke now because down by 3-2 no longer gives a knockdown. That actually was a kind of a scary 50-50 with him. That's gone. And now it goes into Lionheart, which is nowhere near as good as the previous guard break that he had in Tekken 7, because in this game, there's clear counterplay to it. You can just power crush through it, and you're going to beat it. And there are some power crushes in this game that are super dumb. Azuzanas, Victors, let's see here, who else here? King's Armor, freaking, there's other characters, I can't remember them all right now, but Lionheart just is not good. I really hope they buff this in the patch because it's honestly a joke. Throws are just okay. Heat is very underwhelming in my opinion. The main thing that a Steve is going to do to you, Heat Smash again is underwhelming. The only thing really he can do to threaten you is that duck-in clinch mix-up he has, and you can mix it up with a mid. The clinch, it's a 1 or 2 mix-up break, so you can still break it. It's not guaranteed. Punishment's terrible. I mean, he's still relatively safe, but I don't know. You would think in Tekken 8 he would fit the main of the meta really well because he can be very aggressive. He's got great counter, back one's still there. Down forward 2 was wrecked. That move is nowhere near as good as it was previously. And I don't know, man. Steve is just, not good. Not good. Steve is a character that doesn't suit the new system. Which is kind of weird for Steve, because you think he would, but he just doesn't. I'm hoping Steve gets buffed, because, yeah, Steve is not good at all right now. Let's see here. Yoshimitsu. Man, Yoshi is solid in this game, I think. He got some big buffs. This motherfucker does really, really high damage. Damage was a big problem with him, but he does really high damage. His poking got buffed a little bit. It's actually decent. It's still not great poking, but it's decent. Decent enough. Flash is really, really good in this game, especially when he's in no sword stance. It has a super high hitbox, and it launches for a massive freaking damage. His heat is really good. His setups are super annoying and obnoxious. Just a super goofy character, but Yoshi, I think, works really, really well in Tekken 8, especially with how aggressive this game is. Yoshi, with his flash and his spins, it really, 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 I feel like he controls the game, makes it much more slower paced because of that. And I feel like Yoshi actually fits Tekken 8 very, very well. And yeah, his Oki is also super good, and his tech catches are some of the best in the game. And also has super good unblockables. Excuse me. Honestly, this might be a pick. This might be weird, but yeah, I think Yoshi's got some good shit in Tekken 8. I've actually been playing a lot of him, and he's very fun and much stronger than he was in previous games. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he goes lower, but I don't know. I think he's really good. Fang is a joke. He's a joke. You could also argue him being the best character in the game as well. He literally, again, just like, all these other characters in the S tier, he does everything. He's literally Tekken 7 Fang, but even stronger than that. And he was already so good in Tekken 7. The only real big nerf that this guy received was down to no longer giving a knockdown for a stomp. That's it. Other than that, this character is pretty freaking flawless. Lows are complete. He's got, let's see here. Yeah, down back 3, down 4, down 2, core circle 4-1. He has that full crouch low sweep. Full crouch down 4-4-1. That doesn't stagger on block, by the way. He has a snake edge from back turn, which is really good. Mids, down 4-1. Back 4. Back 3 for some reason. They gave that to him, which is a completely new move. Why did he need that? I don't know. 4-4-2. Core circle 4-1 plus 2. Up 4-3. Down 4-3. Safe mid launcher. Punch parry's still there. Though it doesn't launch anymore. It gives a shoulder, but that's still good. 4-3 is really fucking cheap. Sidestep 1 plus 2. Oh yeah, sidestep 4 for the lows. Unseeable snake edge. That tracks. And the big thing with Fang is that you can't pressure him. He's so hard to pressure because he has back 1, back swing blow, which now launches on counter it now. It gives a down 4-3 for a screw. Back Kempo stance. Up 4-2. Fang has it all. The only thing that's lacking with him maybe is hop kick being pretty bad range and throws. But it's he doesn't need throws. His lows are so good. Don't forget Fang's crazy evasion. Oh, yeah, I just mentioned that. Thank you. Yeah, Fang's insane. Fang is absolutely a joke. Absolute joke. I play him a lot, too, because I enjoy him, but yeah, he's super strong. And his keep out's really good, too, by the way, with forward 4. Let's see here. Alyssa. I'm really inclined to put Alyssa in S tier. Maybe I'm wrong for this, but I think Alyssa's S tier. Alyssa is also a joke. Has really everything. Can really do anything. Again, name a weakness for Alyssa. I can't find it. Damage was buffed. That was an issue with her. That got buffed. Punishment-wise, maybe not the greatest character, but still decent. Poking is complete. Lows are complete. Her chainsaws are broken. There's literally nothing you can do to them. All you can do is guess with the chainsaws. And now she has a hell sweep from the when she's flying at you, she has a hell sweep from that now. Did she need that? No, I don't think so. Frames are great approach tools. Yeah, chainsaws are a joke. Some of the best power crushes in the game with up, back 2, down for 1+2. Granted, they're not heat engagers. They're still really stupid. Her chip damage is a freaking joke, especially when she's in heat chainsaws. Her chip damage is actually it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Full crouch mix-up's really good. Man, like just everything. She has everything, and she's so easy to play. So easy to play. Super simplistic. No execution required. Maybe this is just my salt going in, but I freaking hate Alyssa. And I think she's S tier. But if you want to put her at the top of A tier, I'd be cool with that too. But yeah, I hate her. Let's move to the next character. Devil Jin. In my opinion, I think Devil Jin's a little overrated right now. This is probably the only real overrated character in the game, in my opinion. Maybe Victor as well to an extent, but I think it's Devil Jin. But Devil Jin is still insanely strong, though. Super strong. It's just that when he's in heat, that's when he's S tier. Like his heat is S tier. No question about that. His heat smash is a joke. I think you can argue it's the best in the game. When he's in heat, there's nothing you can do. You literally just have to stand and block, or you're gonna get hit by it. On block, you get a mix-up. When he's in Morning Crow, he has an unbreakable throw in heat, which is really annoying. People forget about it sometimes, but yeah, he does. He has that. Let's see here. And when you're just standing there because you're worried about Cycle Crusher, he can wave you in for his full crouch, for his hell sweep and mid mix up, and of course the electric. That's really stupid and annoying. His Demon Paul is really annoying in this game. I feel like all the Demon Pauls got buffed to shit, including his. Again, electric is super strong. Hell sweep is very good, even though it did get nerfed in damage. But the thing with Devil Jin is when he's outside of heat, that's where I feel like Devil Jin is not nearly as good. But he's still A tier, so he's obviously still very good. But poking is not great on Devil Jin. They nerfed it. His jabs down for 1 got hit pretty bad. That's a big deal. Punishment is still very good. Still has a complete throw game, but the poking is definitely nowhere near as good. They gave him a lot more flashy stuff, which is still strong. Up 4-1 is a very interesting tool. Morning Crow is an interesting stance. Laser Cannon's still good. Down back 2 is still a good low. Back 4 is really good. Hell Sweep, I mentioned that. 4-4-4 is a nice long range mid. That's a good addition. So yeah, Devil Jin's still strong. Still a very solid character, but I just feel like when he's outside of heat, I don't think he's an S tier character. I think he's an A tier. But yeah, when he's in heat, then I'd say he's S tier. But outside of it, probably more of an A tier in my opinion. I put her in A, but that's my view. This is your list. No, yeah, of course. Yeah, if you want to put list in A, hey, I accept it. I'm perfectly okay with that. Perfectly okay with that. I have no problem with that. But in my opinion, I honestly think she's S. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am. Who knows? Lee is a solid A tier in my opinion. I think he got buffed. Very all around, very solid in this game. Has some of the best counter tools and keep out in the game. His Magic 4 is still very solid, even though it was nerfed. Back 4 is still insanely stupid and dumb. Down 4-2 is good. Has a good down 4-1 that crushes highs. Down 2 crushes highs. Has great lows with down 3, down back 3, down back 4. Back 3-3 is now a natural combo. That loop is so annoying to deal with. I hate that shit. His slide is very interesting how they changed it. Previously it would knock down, right? Now it doesn't knock down, but the thing is that if you space it correctly, it's not that unsafe on block. And it's like +5 or something. So you can, like, to break a turtle, you can actually loop those over and over again. And eventually they're going to have to duck or do something about it. They can't just sit there. That's a very interesting change. And in heat especially, it gets really annoying. And then, of course, the back 3-3 being natural and looping that. You know, in Tekken 7, a big weakness for Lee was opening turtles, but Tekken 8 Lee can do that no problem. He can open you up. And he has a lot of good chip damage moves, like, for example, his 442 to chip you into pressure. That's pretty good. And still has those counter hits if you do decide to come in. And great combos, great wall travel. One of the best wall combos in the game himself. It used to be even better, but they did nerf it. Where I think you would do Hitman up 4 and you would do down forward 4-4. Or like something. You would do some combo with down 4-4-4 and it would like reset the situation. It was really, really stupid, but that got nerfed. But still one of the best wall combos. His 4-4-3 is insane. Super fast, long range, mid heat engager, and when you're in heat, that becomes a launcher. Heat Smash, though, is pretty weak in my opinion. A little underwhelming Heat Smash. It's a hell sweep, but it's launch punish small block, and it doesn't lead to a shitload of damage. So that's not amazing. But yeah, Lee's strong. And they made him a little bit easier in this game, too. And his 10-frame punish. Oh, yeah, his 10-frame punish. I don't know why I forgot to mention this. His 10-frame punish is one of the best in the game. 1-3-3-3 to blazing kick. Boy, oh boy, that's so strong. And they made it easier to do in this game. Yeah, I think Lee's a pretty clear A tier. Again, not quite S, but yeah, A tier for sure. Zafina. Let's see here. Probably a B tier in my opinion. This is a character where I see her a decent amount in C tier. I think this character is a little underrated in my opinion, but still, still a little underwhelming. This is a character that was super strong at Tekken 7. One of the best characters. You saw her everywhere in pro play, and she got some pretty big nerfs. More specifically with the counter hits. Her counter hits, most of them are gone. 4-4-2 doesn't counter launch anymore. The stance 1+2, that plus on block mid, that's no longer a counter launcher. That's a big deal. Her back 1+2 low is now locked behind a stance. That's a big deal because that was a really, really good low. That is a huge nerf. And movement in general it was nerfed. But previously, there was a bug with her backdash which made it like the worst in the game. And if that was still in the game, she would be like here. Or maybe here. Like she would be bad. But, well, not bad, but you all know what I mean. But that got fixed, so I put her back to B because of that. She still has decent pokes. She still has decent tools. But it's definitely a weaker character compared to Tekken 7. And just because of how stronger everyone else's became, Zafina just didn't really get any crazy buffs. Now, I hear that she's going to be getting buffed later, so maybe she'll go up or maybe something like that. But I think they're going to be careful buffing her just because of how good she was in Tekken 7. So, I don't think she's C tier, but maybe you could argue her being C tier. You could maybe argue it. But yeah, a little underwhelming at the moment. Let's see here. Victor. I think Victor is a little overrated. I don't know with Victor. I hate this character. He's super obnoxious to fight. What's up, Scoop? How you doing, man? He's got a lot of annoying stuff. He's got his wall running 2 is oh my god. His wall running 2 is arguably one of the best wall running moves in the game. It is super fast, super long range. It tracks for some reason. I don't know why. It's a counter hit launcher. It really does everything. That move is super annoying. And he has a couple of annoying moves like execute showing up 1+2 in heat. His freaking power crush. Back 1+2. I hate that power crush. It is probably one of the best in the game. He's got some annoying shit. And, he's got a lot of stance pressure as well. So this is a character where really if you don't know this matchup, he's going to blow you up easily. But once you know this matchup, I think he's a little bit more fair. But I still think he's a solid character. He's got decent poking, good damage. Again, wall running 2 is completely ridiculous. Lows are a little lacking, though. Not great when it comes to lows. Good, not great. But has very good mid, so you're not going to duck him too often. Heat's really good with execution, back 1+2. His chip damage is really, really high in heat. At the beginning of Tekken 8, he also had a bug with his throws, where if you did his 1 or 2 throw, I think his main specifically his 1 throw, it was almost unbreakable on reaction. It was ridiculous, but that got removed. If that stayed, then he would probably be like up. He'd be like up here somewhere. Maybe Victor does go down to B. Maybe he's at the top of B, but I still think he's a solid character. But I still think a little overrated in my opinion, just because he's a new character. Most people don't know the matchup, so yeah. Okay, Brian. Brian, man, some might disagree with me on this one, but I think Brian's B tier. Brian to me is kind of similar to Paul in the fact that he's still playing Tekken 7, but I think he's honestly not as good as Tekken 7 because they nerfed a lot of his counter tools. For example, Mach Kick 444 no longer counter at launch. Full crouch down forward 4 no longer counter at launch. Those got removed for some reason. I don't know why. He got a couple new moves, like, of course, Go Back 1's a nice addition. He got a couple of other things, but in general, he's still, I just feel like he doesn't quite work in the Tekken 8 meta. He's still playing Tekken 7. He still has great counter tools. He still has good wall pressure with his taunt. Taunt was nerfed, though, because if you hit with the taunt, it now counts as a combo. So the next fault that you do becomes scaled. So it does much less damage. So Taunt Jet Upper is honestly not even worth it anymore in Tekken 8. You're almost never going to use that or see it. Taunt Back 4 is still very good, though. That's good. But again, he's just very underwhelming compared to the rest of these characters. He just doesn't have anything like a poof, like that he really stands out. The only thing I can maybe think of is really when he's at the wall because of the taunt. And he does have a Fuck-Around style guard break with his 3+4-2 when he's in heat. Or when he's in Snake Eyes, which is an interesting little power-up that he has. If you charge it all the way, it's like a Fuck-Around guard break. And you'll get wall splatted. So, that's pretty good. But I don't feel like it's as good as Fuck-Around's was. It's a little more predictable in my opinion. Because Fuck-Around had many different moves to do that with. While Ryan just has one. But combos are still good, though. He still has great wall travel, really good damage. Still has really strong counter tools. He's still a good character, though. Again, great execution, good fundamentals. You're going to do well with him, but just compared to all these other characters, I just don't feel like, I don't feel like Brian just can keep up. I feel like he's just playing Tekken 7. Let's see here. Reina. This is a character also I'm not the most knowledgeable on. I haven't actually played her yet, but she's very strong from what I've heard. Very strong. 13 frame electric, perfect electric. That's super, super good. Her jabs are very good. Down forward 1 is solid. Has forward 4. Has a lot of good stance-based mix-ups and pressure. 4-4-2 is a really good neutral tool. Really good neutral. If you hit with it, it lands into her 3 option, which is a heat engager. Heat in general is, I think, very good. If you hit 4-4 on a crouching opponent, just like Heihachi, down 4-1-2 is fully guaranteed into amazing damage and pressure. And when you're near the wall with this character, like doing the forward 4, especially when you are in heat, that mix-up is so annoying because you can do down 4-1-2 at any point and you can heat dash out of it. That's really strong. Has good Oki. Really freaking high damage. Great block punishment. Really has everything you need as Lydia. But again, she does take execution, takes fundamentals and mind games to play her successfully. And also her lows are a little on the lacking side in my opinion. Little lacking when it comes to the lows. But outside of that, Lydia is pretty dang complete. I still don't know a ton on the character yet, so maybe she moves, but right now I think she is I think she's definitely an A tier. And look what we got here. We're at the final character, Eddie. Eddie, in my opinion, I've been playing him a little bit recently, and when he first dropped, I thought he was probably going to be like an A tier. He's definitely not an S tier, but probably an A tier. But I'd say he's probably more of a B tier. In my opinion, I think he's pretty fair.
He's very different in this game, though, compared to how he was in previous games. He lost a lot of his, like, some of his tools. Like, down 4-2 is much worse now. That used to be a counter hit launcher. That's gone. Now it gives just a knockdown wall splat. Down 4-4 doesn't knock down anymore. Sidestep 2, I really like that move. That move's completely gone for some reason. Sidestep 3+4 is a high. That's an interesting change. But some good change that he got was back 1-4 is back. It now gives the counter hit again, that 14 frame mid. And by the way, back 1 tracks both ways for some reason. It's super annoying. And his down 4-1 also is really good. It tracks both ways also, and it's only -3 on block. And it has a follow-up, which is delayable. Very interesting. But yeah, back 1-4 gives the counter hit. It doesn't launch anymore. It just gives 3+4, but that's still a good, decent counter hit tool. But back 1-4 on its own, though, is nowhere near as good because it recovers it's much more sluggish on block. You can interrupt it a little bit easier. And you can also step the second hit. So, it's still risky to do. His up 4-2, the evasive punch that he always has, which used to be safe, that annoying sidestep mid, is now -13. That's a huge nerf. But it does give a guaranteed follow-up. But in compensate for that is that Eddie can now finally sidestep. This is a huge buff. This is a character that previously could not step. His backdash was incredible, but he couldn't step. His backdash was nerfed. His backdash is nowhere near as good as it was previously. It's nowhere near as fast. It's much more sluggish in my opinion. But he can now sidestep. He can step. That's good. I like that. Up 4-4 is still good, but it's changed. On hit, it does the ballerina spin into relaxed stance. But relaxed also is completely different. The mix-up from there was definitely nerfed. He now has a hell sweep and a mid heat engager and a mid knockdown wall splat. He still has the mid launcher, but that's launch punishable. It's much easier. You can now just down 4-2 and he's going to get launched. And he doesn't have the slippery kicks anymore. So he doesn't have the low launcher. That's completely gone. Now it's a hell sweep that needs clean hit range, which is, not the greatest. And if you block the second hit of the hell sweep, it's -12 or 13, and it's a high. So, and even when it lands, it does, 30-something damage, but it's super punishable. Launch punishable on block, which is, it's just very risky. The mix-up in general, and then the mid-launcher, just too risky, super punishable. I much rather do the 1+2 option, which is perfectly safe. Or if I'm in heat, I would go for the 4-3 because you can heat dash to become a plus on block launcher. The fact that most Eddies play the same means I haven't had trouble against them. Yeah, and the thing is with Eddie, again, is like, if you don't know the matchup, he's going to fuck you up, no question about it. But once you know this matchup, I still think he's a solid character, but he's definitely much more reasonable. At least compared to the S tiers, he's nowhere near as bad if you know the matchup. Now, if you don't know the matchup, you might say he's like here, but if you know the matchup, he's, on the lower end. He did get a good new low in 4-4-3, and he has a wall running 3 slash kick, which is pretty good. But, I still feel like, just compared to these other characters, I feel like he's a lot more fair. And he's just relatively punishable. More specifically with the mix-ups. He does have a new Demon Paul, not really a Demon Paul move, 4-3+4. Excuse me, guys. A long-range mid-heat engager. But it's very steppable. Very steppable. It does high crush, though, so keep that in mind, though. He does also have a little power-up thing, so when he's in handstand, he does get a low from there and a powerful mid, or a plus on block mid, which is interesting. I mean, Eddie's very interesting. He's very interesting, but he's probably more like a B tier. He's been simplified since I put him close to the A tier, but he's fine as he is, I think. Close to A tier, I have to disagree with you. I don't think he's on the level of these guys, in my opinion. But, I mean, if you want to put him, like, over here or something, I mean, maybe sure. But, again, this isn't in any order. This is in no particular order. I'm just kind of throwing characters wherever. But Panda, I do think, is the worst character in the game. And, in my opinion, I do think Dragonov is the best character. So, I'll say that. I think Dragonov's the best character, and I think Panda's the worst. But all of these other characters are really close, you know. And it's not in any order, particularly. Took away 50 of his moves. Yeah, they definitely simplified Eddie in this game, for sure. But I feel like they simplified every character in this game, honestly, to a certain degree. I think they're going to also simplify Lydia when Lydia comes out. But yeah, guys, this is my final tier list for Tekken 8 before the balance patch. I'm pretty happy with it, you know. Again, I don't have knowledge on every single character, but I think this is pretty solid, you know. But yeah, I think this is it for me. So you know, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, watching me do this live. Luckily, this turned out a lot better than my last tier list because my laptop was shitty as hell. Luckily, you know, this laptop's a lot more. It's just better. So that's nice. See, I'm glad Kuma's stronger than Panda. He's the alpha of the two. Yeah, but it's really only because of the heat. Outside of the heat, they're the same character for some reason, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's it, guys. Ultima God, thank you for coming in and you know us having this conversation together. It was nice to have someone to talk to about this. Thank you everyone else for stopping by. You know, I'll see whenever I stream next. We'll see what happens because I'm still doing my moving shit. But I thought right now I don't have much to do, so I thought I'll do this real quick. But yeah, I appreciate you guys all for stopping by. This is Falcon.